to our Zemus Zone 6 Week 1 race between Curios and actual JP. Very excited for what's about to happen. In the booth with me, I have Neruliana, I'll get that right eventually, and Zaldi on tracking, and Pyre on the Restream booth. I'm Scythe Marshall. Glad to have you along with us. We are starting a little bit late. Sorry for the delay. We had some technical difficulties. Nehru, how's it going?
It's going. It's been a good day. Just excited to see some free enterprise running after so long of being without it. And look at our hero. Look at him.
Elvin Sorrow gets the wish. It is a Sid hero. Sid hero is really fun. Anchoring makes it like it's a very standard anchoring, but you get the really fun Super Smith weapon, and you get even your slower characters can act somewhat quickly. So really excited to see how our runners fare with that. Speaking of our runners, so we have Curios on the left. Curios is a very, very, very strong player, winner of one of the 2022 Pink Puff Leagues. He was part of the third place New Moon and Evelyn Elixir League, top 8 in Admin Comp. He beat me twice in the Ninja Shirt group. Also won ZZ5 Blue Moon. He went undefeated. Actual JP, another one of our sort of longer term runners, spent some time in Zemus Zone 3 and 4, beat some of our veteran runners there. So really excited to see our two runners work their magic. We should probably have a look at the objectives. So Zemus Zone 6 has one fixed objective, that's forge the legend sword with adamant, and then 7 other random objectives. So we have something like a couple moon. We got 1 moon altar, crystal sword. Launch the falcons, pretty funny. Trade Pinktail. Defeat the king at the town of monsters. That's the Leviathan spot. Complete Cave Magnus, so we might get some music. Trade the rat tail, so we have to trade both tails. And liberate Baron Castle. So a variety of things to do. We'll see what happens. It will not just be darkness go mode. JP looks to be off, so here we go.
Give me something good. Oh boy, Punch Mage and Bonk. Dark Elf and Hook.
And that's the hook. Woohoo! So our hook was hard required. We needed to do the Falcon and trade Pinktail Rat Tail, so our racers don't have to worry about not finding the hook. So that's nice. I saw 2 sirens. Probably won't use those immediately, but we'll see. I don't know. What do you think our racers are gonna do? Right off the bat.
Rating.
Yeah, that's fair.
Expect
we kind of
some rating, but
need some treasure.
Expect somebody to check Yang. Who is going to check Yang?
To see what claw, yeah. So, as if you've been watching any of the Zemus Zone 6 coverage so far, you'll be well aware that the Mac Giant grind. The Mac Giant grind is one of the most important things in the seed, and our runners start with Sid, who can get hammers, and Yang, who can get a Thunderclaw. And we saw Curios found a Cat Claw in the damn same basement, but JP found a Thunderclaw in Watery Pass. And so our runners have the makings of a Mac Giant grind a minute 30 into the seed. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It also depends on what if Yang even had one to begin with. Typically, once you see that Thunderclaw, it's a dead giveaway of just like, hey, that Mac Giant grind looking real tasty. Mac Giants.
We'll see if JP sort of has a natural advantage or not. In the meantime, Curios races the hovercraft, is taking it somewhere. This might be a very early Cave Eblin check. Yep, that's what it looks like. And JP following right behind.
Let's go see who's waiting for us in Cave Eblin. Who's sitting there? Kane.
Kane,
Traitor,
yeah.
if you will.
Oh, Curious found an Earth Hammer. Very interesting.
Uh-oh.
So that's multiple parts of a grind here. JP might have the... if JP follows Curios and does that looting, then he's basically got the Mac Giant grind set up. You want a third character though, because that you can do it at slightly lower levels and don't have to worry necessarily about jumping or power punching. Let's see. I don't know. You said Kane. I'm gonna say Rosa.
Give me the traitor.
It was Vanilla Edge.
Is it
okay.
vanilla?
And that's possibly Vanilla Rubicon. So that's fun. We have a very
Not
heavy
saying
melee
line.
team. No mages yet, but we still have 2 characters on the overworld that we haven't looked at.
Hey, but what about Punch Mage?
Punch Mage is fine. It's just he's also melee. He's both.
Both is good.
Okay, Curios going back to the save point. Looks like he's going to loot on the way out. That makes sense. I missed if JP did some looting early. Looks like Ether 2s and Illusions in the item shop in Eblin. Those are okay. Ooh, Black Belt's Rune Rings. That's a very good shop. And Cat Claws. Wow.
So what's being sold? How much is being sold? We can always, I see that Odin, and that Odin screams to be sold away.
I would have sold that ice armor. Yeah.
There goes. Bye-bye, Odin.
I really like this shop. It's like you just did a bunch of looting, chuck all of this heavy armor, you buy multiple Cat Claws, you buy the Ice Claw, you buy a Black Belt, and all of a sudden your Yang is like, you never have to equip Yang outside of battle again.
Yeah. Cat Claw good. That's how I feel. Cat Claw good.
Yeah. And
Both
it's great,
runners
right?
have got them.
It's really great because Sid's the hero, right? So you can speed Young up all you want. Double Cat Claw early on makes him basically as fast as Edge. I mean, sort of.
Kinda, sorta.
But our runners have basically done the same thing. We'll see where they go now because they don't really have the ability to do things. Curios looks like he is... I don't know where he's going.
Defense? No.
He was very undecided. Looks like he's going to Hobbs.
That's me if you put me in the booth. That's me if you put me in a race, actually. Decisions. Fast anchoring?
Well, the Sid's the hero, so he's also the anchor. Oh, there was a poison axe there too. Oh boy, so much.
Oh boy.
Oh, we have
Eddie!
our 4th melee character.
Go.
All you Eddie fans out there, sorry.
No Eddie for y'all. I wanted Eddie so bad. Would have been so funny. Maybe
All right.
Spoonward?
You
If
know,
we find Spoon?
if you have a very early spoon, then you absolutely take Edward early. But like right now, Zaldi with the point. Our tracker making the note that if you sling Edward, then he becomes very competent.
Good. Competent bard prince thing. I don't know.
He'll be fine.
We found a rune ring after buying a rune ring.
Yeah, extra rune rings are fine. Edge doesn't need them. He's got Mute Dagger, Longsword, I think. So those guards, peace out.
Angry ninja. What we got? Vanilla? Wait, no, not vanilla.
Nah,
Twin
it's
Heart.
not vanilla,
But
but
it's a Twin Heart.
that is an objective.
It's one of the objectives. Music?
I wonder how early our runner. Well, okay, we'll see if JP gets here. But I don't know how early Curious is going to want to do Twin Harp. On the one hand, you do Twin Harp. On the other hand, like you kind of want exit or at least warp. Having to walk out of Cave Magnus is like suboptimal.
Mm-hmm. Really sucky. We want to find like a Rosa or do ordeals and find Paladin Cecil. Yeah, and Porum as well. Because of Zot, yeah, Rosa doesn't get exit into after Zot. Porum.
Definitely
just need a Porum.
Yeah.
Cry.
Honestly, our melee characters are screaming for a white mage. Definitely.
Oh yeah, they are.
Definitely, okay. Our team's also really setting up for, like the Mac Giant grind already, and so you kind of want a blink caster, preferably. So we'll see. Octomam at Fool. Octomam is not long for this world. I think Yang started with an Ice Claw, so the Thunder Claw that JP picked up actually relevant.
JP is getting it. Pogo Pogo. Oh man.
Just failed him.
Doot Doots. Get your Doot Doots in chat, I guess. Because doot. Let's see what our reward's going to be for that Fabul. What you got for us? Give me something good.
Aegis Shield is not what you want.
Okay. Not optimal, but it's okay, I guess.
No.
Not optimal, but I'll take it. Money. More cat
I was
claw?
about to say, like, the experience on Yang is maybe the best thing you get out of that. Looks like Curious is heading to Baron, which makes sense. This is the other sort of freebie character check. Hopefully, like, he might find something he's looking for. We'll see. Actually, one thing that...
You are guaranteed a white mage at one point, right?
Well...
We're not.
At one point.
Are we guaranteed at least one healer in this pool? One.
So we will find every character who isn't Tella or Fusoya. It's just, where is that character? If you count Kira 2 casting Cecil, then that's cool.
Oh no.
Hard Edge, thanks for one-shotting Wyvern. Nice.
Thank you. Okay, so now what is it? It's a vanilla Edge and a vanilla Ruby on Hook Route.
That's very good.
I know, right? It's optimal. Hi, Ruby. Yeah, it looks like it was the Ice Claw.
Okay, very quick fight for Curios. Yeah, swapped elements into the Ruby form and then took out the rest of its HP. That's an objective.
Pinktail. But what if Pinktail into Rattail?
You can. Pinktail gives you a non-key item reward. However, we could get fun things like Masa. We could get Artemis arrows. We could get an Avenger for our characters who can't use it. Lots of talking about saying Pinktail to Crystal Sword. Given that we just picked up Cecil, that is definitely something that can happen. Yeah, okay, Cecil can use the Avenger after he becomes a Paladin, I know. But, like, what about cover strats? He can't use cover strats if he's Zerking.
But what if we just... Oh, there we go. Come on, Curios. Give us a good Paladin Cecil.
Yeah, so
Here's
this
the
is... Oh, go ahead.
What if Crystal? Crystal Sword, right? Right? If you have Crystal Sword...
What if?
Good weapon. Technically, does the Avenger have less of an attack stat than the Avenger?
No. The Avenger is like an 80 attack stat. Crystal Sword's 200. So the Crystal Sword is the better weapon. Also has better stat boosts. The trick is that the Avenger auto-zerks you. So you just Avenger glitch and you're fine. You get the best of both worlds. We'll see what happens. This is a Sparkle. Fun times. Now it's Ogopogo. Okay. This is not threatening.
Nope rope. It's Nope rope. I love Nope rope. Big wave. Is this a vanilla Cecil sprite?
Huh. Yeah, I think that is.
Yeah. Fun.
The rare full vanilla sprite.
Yeah, it is.
That is very rare. Like, you don't see that often.
Yeah. I suppose
Alright.
we'll see when he becomes Paladin Cecil, I guess.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned.
'Cause I think I've seen variants before that look similar to Vanilla Cecil, but aren't Vanilla Cecil.
Yeah, just very close. All right,
And
so
it's
JP's
scary.
through Fadul. Is basically one check behind. Oh, sorry, I got distracted.
Oh.
Well, all right. You want Paladin Cecil, huh?
Like Paladin Cecil, right? Get through this.
Conveniently, Edge makes this trivial. So, I think there's the only way this is awkward is if JP puts Yang ahead of Edge in the turn order and somehow Yang goes first. But realistically, Edge will go second, and you just cast Flame. Curios and JP is also going to Ordeals. They're in no trouble here. This is basically just slow. That's all.
It's a minor inconvenience for a greater purpose. Cecil possibly having good weapon.
What's interesting is that Curios did not check the Pingtail before going to Ordeals. So the thought, I guess, is that, well, if you get Rat Tail, then you only have to make one trip to the turn in. So we'll see what happens. JP starting the Ogopogo fight has not done Baron in, but has done Hobbs. And so JP is doing Ordeals without the Cecil knowledge, which is really interesting.
Cecil? Who's Cecil? It's a lot of zombies.
So another thing that's a little unfortunate about JP's Edge is that I think JP's Edge only has like one. Oh, chucks the Drain Sword. That's smart. I think JP might be well served by putting that Mute Knife that was in his inventory into one of Edge's hands, though. Oh no. That might not have thrown. He might not have thrown the Mute Knife. We'll see.
I sure hope you didn't throw the Mute Knife. The Sura is coming for you now.
That's still there.
Angry Sura. Down goes Fawul Gauntlet. Bye, Gauntlet. An aggravating fight. But I guess for Curios, it's a decently necessary. Like, it's not a necessary evil, but it's an evil nonetheless that we've gotten by.
Yeah,
Anything for
and
Paladin Cecil.
pretty much, yeah. Looks like JP is gonna take the fight. Given that he's here, get a little bit of experience on Young, and I guess on Edward. Is not resetting out. I don't blame him. This is pretty reasonable.
What we getting? Sand Ruby. So that's another character.
Another character, not a key item reward. This is a
Mylon.
Mylon.
Flavor.
French vanilla
It's a fun
Mylon, I
flavor.
guess.
Yeah, French vanilla.
I'll flat into the deep ravine.
Okay.
What are you doing, Sid? Come on, you can one shot, maybe.
Yeah. It did his best. Maybe he just low rolled.
Yeah, typical. Even from the center
Typical
slot.
Sid. What Tella?
Wherever
Tella
he
learned
is,
Medio.
he's not here.
Wherever Tella is. Go Paladin now. Could Curios be setting that up to possibly, when he gets that pigtail, possibly to just make sure Cecil's optimal? He's just ready for his new destiny. Hold a sword if it's something for him.
Yeah, maybe. I think it was mostly just like, well, it could be the rat tail. Let's see if I can save a little bit of time. And yeah, going straight to the tail turning. So put your guesses in chat. I think I'm calling Masamune because it's funny.
Party bow.
Hey, there you go,
Crystal
folks. That's
sword.
Crystal Sword.
Cecil is online. He is ready for the Mac Giants. Cecil Engi.
Okay, so here's a question. We don't have Darkness yet, but we have Crystal Sword Cecil with a whole bunch of strength boosting gear that we picked up or from Cave Emblem. Do you grind?
I'd wait for Darkness, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. You sort of make that call eventually. But Crystal Sword Cecil, if we find a white mage, that's a dupe Edward. Oh boy. If we had a white
I don't
mage,
think there's a white mage.
if we have a white mage, then I don't think you even need to grind. On the other hand, grinding. So we'll see. Taco asking, do we have Thunderclaws?
Yes, we have them.
JP
we
has
have
a
at least
Thunderclaw.
one.
I don't know if Kyrios has a Thunderclaw yet.
I think Curios might have found one eventually. That's the other Mylon. Mylon Salad?
Yep, peace out. Never seeing those bosses again. Kyrios going to... guess going to Troya. Just gonna shop?
We don't have free key item on, do we?
Nope, we need to find the D-Mist.
Maybe it's the free treasury?
I don't think you would do free treasury.
Shopping.
Yeah, this is the shopping trip. This is claws. This is, I haven't found a Thunderclaw. I need to find one.
Underclaw where? Underclaw where?
And clearly not Troya. Life potions though.
Darkness.
How many life potions does Kyrios buy?
As many as humanly possible, I think.
Looks like 10? Yeah, it looks like 10 and 2 Star Bells. I don't hate that because he hasn't used any of the 10 he started with. Ooh, Silk Webs though. I love that purchase. 4 Silk Webs, perfect. Just go straight there.
I like silk webs because I can be used for Z, I think. One of the Z strats.
Oh, especially on Sea Hero, you need to do, like, well, not need to, but it just makes the Zemus fight so much more comfortable if you throw a Silk Web. Just slows Zemus down just a little bit more.
Hitting music.
Yeah, okay, so this makes sense. Kirio's got some pretty strong power. We'll get Cecil a whole bunch of levels off this fight. It's like 5k XP, it's not bad. It's a whole bunch of levels for Cecil. And then it's an objective, right? So that you do the objective and then possibly it throws a chain at you. Potentially, right? I don't think you'd want to, even if it were the Magma Key, I don't think you necessarily leave the Falcon for a while, but you could. JP has gone to Baronin, so has found Cecil. I don't know if his edge is equipped to deal with this Wyvern. That's fire. That's a strong fire 3.
Ow.
Okay, it was not strong enough.
He's on the floor. No. No, Edward. Anyway. Look at this Dark
moving
Elf
on.
fight.
Yeah, so Yang was not magnetized, no kamikaze, so just has to sit through the barrage. But of course, this is Cave Madness. So as per usual, Edward is about to play us some music. What that music is randomized, and so we will shortly lead you with. We will leave you with the tunes from DJ Spoony B, brought to you by some of our wonderful harpists like Calamity, Board doing some of the originals, and Xenocat. All right.
Good bops.
Yeah, that was a track from DKC. That was also Kainatsu. Pretty easy fight. No worries there. Just a Dragon Whip, so this was only the objective and experience on Cecil. JP has turned in the Pink Tail, has his Crystal Sword, and is heading down Twin Harp, so basically is only a Twin Harp checkpoint. Fun fact, JP has a 5th character, and so Cecil's going to get a little bit of a slingshot. I don't think he'll quite get exit, but yeah, it'll be a noticeable amount of extra damage, I think, afterwards.
That's good, at least.
the cheeky Ashura pickup, all right. So Kyrios taking the hovercraft back to Eblin. We'll see if he's going down the hook route or if he's going to go do some monster boxes in Castle Eblin. Yeah, okay. So here's a Castle Eblin play.
That's fine.
On T Pro, it's still good because Castle Eblin's busted. But I think part of this is just getting some experience, I think.
Yeah, getting EXP is really good.
Left tower.
I feel nice enough to let chat have another bout.
Nah, JP's stream doesn't have any sounds. We will not have extra music. You can imagine the music in your head.
If you remember.
If you remember it, yeah. I mean, it was kind of just there. You can reround the stream. In the meantime, Kyrios has found the Stalin Skulls chest. Edge strong, Yang strong, Cecil strong, Sid strong. Like, gonna have to beat. It was Vanilla Rubicant with this team, so not really any healing, but it's strong characters. It's fine.
What's a healer? I don't know what that is. Pseudo healer Cecil, except we don't want that.
Actually casting.
Except we have to do it anyway. Cure 1, because it's all the use he's gonna get.
Perfect.
I missed. What if we just don't have a white mage?
We'll see. We might not get one for a while. So I missed what was in the monster box. Did you catch it?
It zoomed. And I mean zoomed a little too fast for little Nene to catch.
Fair enough. Alright, looks like Kyrios has decided that's enough. One monster box, a whole bunch of gear, exits out, gonna do the hook route. So entering the hook route at around 29 minutes. We'll see how this goes. Probably well.
Did JP take a reset?
Nope. I don't think so. Should be fine.
I don't think so either, but I feel like they should have been in this Kenyatta fight like a couple seconds sooner.
Nah. It can be... Yeah, so Zaldi was Tracker mentioning that JP did some equipping before the fight, which realistically, I don't think he had given Cecil his gear yet, so needed to get set up.
Thank you, Art. Thank you, dear Tracker. We love you here.
Like, we have 4 eyes, but it's still hard to keep track of both screens at once. So, big shout outs to our restreamed, the people who are not on the microphone right now, making sure that we actually know what we're talking about.
What are we talking about?
That's Zaldi and Pyre. Big shout outs.
Alright, y'all are phenomenal.
Okay, that's 2 objectives for both of our runners. JP is heading out of Cave Magnus. Also found exits, so that's they were pretty good pickup. I think both of our runners had a few exits. Must have bought them in a shop. I missed that. But always like because we're not going to find them in chests. This was a good choice.
Yeah, I think both runners found the exits in a shop at some point. I think I vaguely remember seeing Kyrios buy a couple, just for like situations like that. Silkweb buy? Silkweb buy.
Silkweb purchase, let's go. So we have mirror 4 Silkwebs on both sides. We'll see how many, interesting. Zaldi's gonna have to, not Zaldi. I'm sorry, Zaldi, you're not playing. That would be newspaper worthy. JP is gonna sell a whole bunch of stuff. Has over 100k. All right, that's fair enough.
You have enough money. You have enough money.
25 life potions. There we go. Let's go.
Life potions. Crystal gauntlets on the Cecil.
Yeah,
He's getting
I guess.
what he needs.
I guess that's +3 will, I think. So maybe I think he also had a Sork Robe, so healer Cecil, let's go.
Healer Cecil, guys.
To be fair, the Crystal Sword
if we can't
gives...
find one, we'll...
Like, the Crystal Sword is plus 15 willpower, so, like, it's a good stat stick.
If we... Oh my goodness. Oh wait, no, French vanilla because he's from top of tower. Not this part of tower.
Yeah, so Lugae sort of on the wrong side of the tower. This fight, honestly, you love to see this fight because as long as you knock Balnab out here, this fight can't really hurt you. It's just speedy and waste your time.
Beat him up. Yeah. Yeah, y'all, beat up Foundub and Dr. Lugae. Oh, poor Dr. Lugae. Ooh.
Yep, that's about as fast as that fight's gonna be. We'll see how long this part goes, but
on Cecil. Sick him.
I'm thinking
What am
Young's
I
gonna
watching?
actually. So Curio still hasn't found the Thunderclaw. So we'll see if this is an issue. Oh no, JP, you can't push B to jump here. You have to go the long way.
Someone put this player in too much push B to jump.
Yeah, when you play a lot of push B, you end up going different ways than you're used to, and then it completely destroys your muscle memory. But our runners will probably not have this issue too much longer in the tournament. You get zoned in on the tournament flags, and it's usually okay. So this is fun. Kira's just left the Lugae fight. JP is entering the Lugae fight, so very close race so far.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Ruby. Hit me with your best shot.
Yeah, so I'm really interested about what Kira's strategy is going to be. Obviously, we're going to get Cat Claw, Ice Claw, and just Power Punch. 2600? Yeah, that's good.
Ow. Ruby. Oh, good night,
That's
Edge.
fine. That's fine.
Me too.
Edge is basically just a target.
It's like he was in Vanilla Game. Oh my goodness. Okay, Yang. You've given us some good attack.
Yeah, so
Waking
this
up
is
Edge to get an EXP.
yeah, this is fine. I think you just slowly chip away, heal up. Ruby can't, unless you fight, can only hit you with single target damage. Jazer, that's a good question. I think technically Ice Brand would be like a little bit more, but it's not worth it. It's probably not because you're missing out the plus 15 strength.
It's also with a 700 cure too.
Let's go,
A
Cecil.
lot better than any Cecil could do. Come on, Cecil. Come on, power through and be our pseudo white mage.
And
I
as a
think that's
reminder,
what
if
he
you're
is.
gonna use the crystal sword as an item, it does nothing, but that makes Cecil not drop cover.
This cover is important.
I mean, it is, right? You don't need Yang getting punched in the face twice.
Yes, indeed. Just going back to what you said, Ruby can't hit you with multi-target things.
That was 4 more damage than necessary. So JP's Cecil takes a little bit of a nap. His
I don't
Yang...
think his Cecil looks pretty dead yet. His Edge, don't worry. Cecil does need a nap though. Lunarians are EP. Oh, bye Ruby. It's nice
Yep.
seeing you.
Yep, so Curious out of the fight. pretty slick fight, honestly. 4 characters, no real healer, just casually, use some life potions, etc. JP making very good use of Flood. That's something that Curios did not do, but could have. Unfortunately, I think JP has charged this Flood a little bit early. But it doesn't matter because Edge just fell down. It's fine.
That's how I sleep. I sleep like Edge does sometimes. Blink. Let's see what... Oh yes, this is an objective, that's right. Get Falcon. Launch that Falcon.
Yeah, so that's
now, where
3
would you
objectives.
go at this point? Where are
3
you headed?
objectives for Curious. Yeah, where would I go? I'm
Where would you
probably
go?
doing Feymarch. I need to check who the Leviathan boss is, and then probably checking the Feymarch freebie. I don't know if I do Sheila one. I want a character though, so I'm probably doing Dwarf Castle fairly early. And
I was thinking, like, if I were in the situation, yeah, I'd be going to Dwarf Castle, and then I'd check Feymarch. Sylph Cave is only if I feel like I need EXP. Then
Like
again, I'm
taking the
hoping
monster
for a
bosses,
Darkness
right?
Crystal. Yeah.
So, Nehru, did you see if JP sold his Ice Claw?
I don't think so.
Because he's not attacking with Yang. Oh, it's on Edge. I understand.
Oh,
So
I see.
interesting. Unlike in other games, like elemental weapons don't increase your elemental damage. Like there's no, like you can't Thunder Rod improve your your blitz damage or something. So unfortunately, JP was missing out on some rounds of power punching, which could have been pretty useful. So
Sura.
we're like he's getting really good use out of Flood, but Yang, there we go. There's the power punch. So now we're gonna start getting some real damage in.
Punchy, punchy. But here's a Sura over here being annoying with her constant curing.
Yeah, this spot, the stats are based mostly on the
Really
big
lifelocking.
doll.
Yeah.
And so it punches really hard and has lots of magic.
Lifelock. Please stay in lifelock. Please.
Yeah, just dead.
Yay!
Good strategy, because Ashura's script sort of goes forward on its own, but if you hit her, like the script starts going backwards in terms of the cycle of spells. And so if you see life, then you attack, and then Ashura will use life again. You just lock her in that state, so she does nothing basically.
Hippo guards. Edward!
Ooh, Yang. Nice 2 HP like tank. 1 more HP than necessary. 2 more HP than necessary? No, 1 more. That's how that goes.
One more. One more than what we need, but... Good job, Yang. You tanked it out. And it looks like
JP through the fight.
Edward. Oh, good job, JP. Yeah, that ruby was... It was a ruby. Looks like the Edward that Curios had been evading came back for him anyway.
And knocked him down. So this might be the like, just in case there's the spoon here, then I will slingshot Edward. Which
Spoon?
good idea. I appreciate that.
Spoon? Want spoon, please. I want to see a spoon word. Spoon word's fun.
I would love to see a team of 5 Zerkers. This sounds
No.
awful.
Oh no. It sounds awful, but I love it.
Exactly. Anyway, so JP's through the hook route. I think about 5 minutes behind, so lost a little bit of time on the Rubicon fight, but like recovered it really well. The Legend Sword is
Heart of
half an
Forge.
objective.
Half a forge. Now, where's the rock? Where do you think the rock is? Because I think
It's on
it
the
might be... I'm thinking, like, maybe Super Cannon or top of tower.
Maybe. We'll see.
Or Fame or Treeby.
Fame March Freebie would be hilarious, though. You're right. Sid Hero. Sid only has good Super Smith weapons, so we'll see what happens here.
Fiery
okay,
Hammer. Calling it.
That would be the optimal. Okay, so it looks like JP has decided he needs a little bit more levels. Cecil obliges, one-shots an egg.
Magma Key. I'm not saying the
Womp
line because
womp.
Allie sell. Allie would very much newspaper me. Womp womp indeed.
Cabins for sale in Fame Arch. You'll love to see those. I think here's about like 8.
Yes.
It's very good. Mods. Please don't time Zaldio. We need we need Zaldi to tell us things.
We need them. Allie, please, spare us. Spare us the despair. Oh my. Imps
This
and
Fame Arch is
karate.
gross. This Fame Arch is hilariously gross.
Just gonna sip my water. Why? Yeah, I walk out of that too. Okay. Be free.
I mean, Curious is going back to the save point. I think he's gonna take the Dark Imps
Oh, no.
fight. This is
mean-
spicy.
Oh wow.
Ether 2 on Cecil into Cure 2. I love this.
We need to make sure he's ready. Listen, we don't have a white mage, so guess who our white mage is? Cecil.
It's perfect. Taco
know,
Bell.
right?
So, Curious did just buy cabins. However, Curious is using cover strats on Cecil. So he's giving Cecil some MP so he can heal Cecil up while leaving everyone else in critical HP. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not. We'll see. Inven making a very good observation. So Curios accidentally used a siren. I didn't see it because I have the stream muted. But Curious only has 1 siren left. They started with 2. So we'll see what happens.
This is occupying. Oh, how much
So-
HP is split between the 3 dimps?
It's like 22k. I'll look in my spreadsheet.
And do the mental math. in
20,
my head.
23k.
Oh, wow.
It's 23k, and so each Dark Imp has just under 8. It's like just under 8k. It's like 7666.
Yeah, relatively. I was thinking around like 7,500, roughly.
Yes, it's
Somewhere
around there.
there.
So
Karate.
JP walking into the karate fight, forgetting that karate has an
Oh.
unblockable kick move. Or maybe just
Ow.
wanted to see how much damage it was going to do.
How much damage did that do?
A lot. Well, the kick was like 400 to 500, which is a lot. The we'll see. Curios has one of the dimps down, so that's like a significant improvement on like being able to survive here.
testing our metal, testing our metal with karate, because that's a punchy karate. This one has trained very, very well.
Yeah, so it's a punchy karate, but JP also remembering, and you can tell I haven't seen this boss in a reasonable place, that Paladin Cecil can trigger an end of battle script by attacking after the second kick is queued. And so JP is through that fight.
Oh,
And that's a spoon! That's a spoon! No way!
Spoon word! Spoon word! Spoon word! Spoon word! Spoon word!
I love this seed. It is giving everything.
But Curios is doing Queen of Evidence Spot.
Well, Fame Arch, but yeah. This fight is going
Oh, yeah,
very
Queen.
well. Like,
Hey, March Queen. Oopsies. Get 'em.
okay, this is slightly problematic though. Unless Curious is probably counting damage.
Oops. Good night, Edward.
There we go. So knew that he could just wail away and would end the fight soon. JP, on the other hand, nopes out of Dark Imps, says, nope, don't want to deal with it, just gonna go do Dwarf Castle.
Crystal ring.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Curios reset
Wait, you
out
reset
of
up
that. Huh. I mean, I guess the thing is that Curios spent a whole bunch of resources, and because it wasn't progression, wanted those resources back. Huh.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, like,
That would
does
have been
it?
nice for Edward. Like, spoon word with the crystal ring?
That's so interesting. Huh.
We'll have to ask about that.
I agree. I agree.
Spoon. Spoon word? Come on, JP. Spoon. No spoon word.
Did JP just
Illusion.
chuck the spoon?
JP just chucked the spoon at a circle.
Hilarious. Wow. I guess
Oh my
this makes
God.
sense though, right? Because JP's thinking, how am I going to like get levels? What is my plan? And I think Edward just isn't in the plan. Like JP wants a mage. So oh,
Good
also
luck-
something
good
we
luck finding me.
yeah, right? Something we hadn't considered. What was the like I think the last spell in the list for Rydia's spells, like upon grow up, was Bahamut. So with the Ashura orbs that we have, Rydia's a white mage, I guess.
Yeah,
Sort
if we
of.
find a Rydia white mage.
The issue is we have no option for Zerk. Like we need Rosa or Porum for berserking, unless the Forge shop happens to have Bacchus ones.
Yeah, unless Forge Shop has Bacchus, we need a white mage. Watch, like, the white mage be on the moon. Moon mage. Giving Sheila 1 to possibly get a key item, to get the key item we need. I mean, where else can we check now, aside from top of tower?
Top of tower. I don't remember if our runners have gone. So our runners haven't gone to Zot 1, and they haven't gone to Waterfall. So maybe it's at Demas? But yeah,
Maybe
that's
Zemus has progression. Yeah.
we'll see. This is so cool. Like our runners are. This is a very close race. Curious resetting out of the Dark Imps fight, like, sort of offsets some of the extra menuing and looting that JP has done. This is really interesting. And now JP's just
Sheila 1
following Curios, gonna do Sheila 1 as well.
They're playing a game of tag. Somewhat. Okay, so what we got here?
Not
Not
progression.
that was a Dragoon Spear.
And
So
without a king,
progression has to be at top of tower or behind Demus.
Demist.
Oh.
So here's where neither of us probably were paying attention, but hopefully someone was. Who was the boss at top of tower? Do we know?
I don't think either. I wasn't paying attention. It's gonna be a surprise. Maybe. Someone's gotta know what it is. This is why we love chat. Because chat, if we don't catch something, chat catches it.
Yeah. Key items are only at K-Main Summon Moon Spots, no key items in monster boxes. Zaldi reminding us that the top of tower boss is a spoiler, so okay, I guess we're not finding out.
Come on, man. Surprise. It's time to get surprised. What do you think it is? I think Bahamut.
D-Lunars.
Just gonna throw it out there, Bahamut. Deluders. Ooh, plague.
Okay, so JP's walking the Dragoon Spear out. I don't hate this. It's a pretty big dart. I don't think we take Kane, even if he shows up though. Like, prefer White Mage over Kane. But I guess we'll see.
Unfortunately, yeah. No traitor for the traitor levels. Step.
Ah. Hey now. Okay, so we have Baigen. Baigen is pretty rough here, except for the fact that we have like 4 melee characters in Edward. So Baigen's gonna be pretty fine. Crystal Sword Cecil just tears it apart.
JP is scouring the world for a white mage. Arm grind. Arm grind?
No, arm grind is not worth it. It is never worth it.
It'd be funny.
It would be funny, but also meh. Also, so fun fact, since we are not Zerking, is just gonna hold A and fight the body of Baigen without taking out the right arm. Right arm's just gonna do Vampire Punch, so it's very like not a threat. The magic at this spot is okay. I said not a threat, and then Edge took like over 600 damage, but you know what? It's fine.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it too much. It's okay. It's okay.
JP racing up the tower might end up in the Baigen fight at the same time. Like, this is our runners have been in near lockstep almost the whole seed. It's really exciting race.
Yeah, I think this is phenomenal.
And of course, it wouldn't be nearly as phenomenal without our folks running the restream behind us. Zaldi on tracking and Pyre on restream. Big shout outs to all of our restream volunteers. Was that the vanilla tower key? Oh boy.
Oh boy. Well, progression might be near. But yeah, restream team, y'all, everyone here, y'all are phenomenal. It's wonderful to be a part of such a wonderful restream team.
And also, if you at home watching in Twitch chat or wherever else we're streaming, or if you're watching the VOD on YouTube and you're interested in helping out, please join the Discord. Zaldi let us know where you can find the Discord in Twitch chat. Please join. There are forms you can fill out to sign up for the restream team and help out. You can do get started with tracking, do some comms, do some restream. The more volunteers we have, the more restreams we can put on.
Yeah, and it's a phenomenal community. People here are really, really nice, very welcoming to new players, new people on the restream team. You guys should totally join if you want to. It's phenomenal. Down goes Baigen. Night night.
Yeah, peace out. Well, okay, Baigen is still up for JP. We saw CPU in Super Cannon Room. I guess that works sort of like chocolate, maybe? I don't know. But that's...
So you could just say Baigen.
It's, okay. I
So
could. Don't be sorry.
I'm not.
Absolutely
I'm
do
not.
not be sorry. All right. So Kira's walking down the tower. We'll see what happens. JP's just holding A, doing the same thing that Kyros did. Is through the fight. I think JP has like a little bit more in the way of levels because he took that siren that Kyros did not. So we'll see. Oh, we have the explode. Does it? No. Okay. 16 damage. Cool.
Aw, 16 damage. That's so sad.
It is. My favorite part of arm explodes is when they explode for double-digit damage. It's like, come on, game. You could have just given me the higher roll and we would have skipped all of this. Anyway,
What's the item?
what's the
Is
item?
it adamant rock? Or is it something sillier?
It's the darkness
Oh,
crystal. Okay, here
man.
we go.
Oh man,
All
I
right.
didn't want that to be progression, but I was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Super
it's,
canon.
I mean, here we go. What's interesting, what I find very interesting about this scenario is that Kyrios has exactly 9 key items. JP is about to have exactly 9 key items. 9 key items does not give you the bonus. So this is one of these situations where I really wonder if our racers are going to sort of delay the delay a Mac Giant grind, say, until we get, you know, a 10th kid to sort of have the grind time.
Yes, more EXP, more. I would personally do a check at Waterfall, actually, because it's just a good check, like a quick little check. Just like, you get in, you get out. If it's not a Demus, you can get out, and you can have freedom.
Yeah, I don't, like, I usually check Demus, like, when I raise, I check for Demus at Waterfall when I raise the hovercraft. So we'll see what our runners decide to do. Kyrios, I think, is shopping. He wants a Thunderclaw. Where is the there's the Thunderclaw. Wow,
There's the
buys
Thunderclaw.
2.
2.
Incredible.
Probably Edge and Yang, or maybe double on Yang.
No, the double doesn't do anything. You want Catclaw Thunder.
Yeah, speed.
You were right the first time. You put it on Edge, and then it's like Thunder Longsword, I guess. That's not bad. So you
Well,
have
oopsie-daisy.
like Crystal Sword Cecil, Thunderclaw Edge, Thunderclaw Yang, Earthhammer Sid. That seems, I think that works. With the levels they have, that's probably a 1-round fight, and then you throw. The issue is that that's 4 attacks, and then you have your 5th character. So I think you really want someone to, like, I don't know, like you want the life glitches. So it's possible that with 4 attackers you can just cycle around and it's fine. So it's probably not an issue. We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
Our runners are separated by the darkness cutscene. Wow.
Kind of scary. Won't lie to you. We're going to the moon. We're going to see who the moon character is.
I agree with this.
If
Curious
it is-
absolutely does not want Edward.
If it is not a mage, I'm going to laugh so hard.
Actually, so this is a question. There are 13 character spots. How many times have we seen Edward? 3 times, right?
3 or
I think-
4, yeah.
Yeah, I think Edward was all of the dupes.
Edward only run.
Okay, maybe he was 2 of the 3 dupes. 2 of the 3. Ah,
Oh?
we have a mage. That's not the mage we want.
Oh no! Oh my gosh.
Resets
No
out.
healers. No healer for you. Wait, why reset out? Because that's just more cutscene time.
Well, he saved after the whale, right? So he's okay. So Curious is going to Baron. Curious is going to set up presumably going to set up the Mac Giant grind. Basically how this works is FF4 Super Nintendo game. The RNG was not very sophisticated. There is a single list of 256 numbers that's just shuffled. The list is traversed in order, and that gives you your random number generation. What we can do is that we can tell what encounter string we're on, but the encounter RNG is on based on like how many steps it is until we get an encounter and what encounter that is. So what's fun is that we can use this information. We take an encounter, see what it is, run away, and then say, okay, well, I need to take a few more encounters, and then the next encounter I get will be a specific encounter. In this case, the Mac Giant, the repeatable Mac Giant grind inside the Giant of Babel. And so Curios counted steps, found it was 12 steps or something, found an encounter, said, okay, now I have to take another few encounters, then he will turn encounters off and then go into the giant, go to the specific floor, turn encounters back on, and get the Mac Giant grind. This is
Mac Giant.
So I guess the other thing we can talk about is one of the philosophies for this tournament was sort of asking us, okay, what is your grind going to be? Because with this party, you don't need to do Mac Giants, although it is very efficient. In previous tournaments, the most efficient grind was the D Machine grind, which is very similar to what Curious is setting up right now, except you would find a D Machine encounter, and then you would use Weak with Tella or maybe Fusoya, and then kill the D Machines, and they give more XP, and so that's the quotes better grind. We don't have Tella or Fu on these flags, and so Curios is taking on the Mac Giants.
We said no more D-Machine grinds in our tournaments. Stop!
And so we got Mac Giants for days, which is fine. It's okay. Curious is into the fight. Note the time, it is 1:04:47-ish into the fight. So we'll see how long he spends. Does not have 10 key items, but also does not have a mage that would benefit from getting a specific amount of XP. And so it's possible that in this situation, he's just going to grind, 400k XP and then go from there. We'll see.
I'm pretty sure he didn't take the Palom because we have Spoonward.
Yeah, so I think Curious is going to Slingshot Spoonward, and Slingshot Spoonward is good. He's fine.
Spoonie Bard. Oh, Spoonie Bard down. Oopsies.
Again, fine. Not a big deal. Oh, just barely got that life glitch off. Oh boy.
Ooh.
All right. On the other side, okay, let's leave Curios alone for a little bit. We'll check back in case something goes kind of funny. On JP's side,
JP's setting up for the two machine.
Well, the Mac Giants, but yeah. JP's party differs very specifically from Curios's in that JP chucked the spoon at Ashura. JP does not have Spoonward anymore. JP took Palom. And so, okay, it's a mage. That's cool. So we'll see what JP's endgame strategy is. Palom's good. He can bounce nukes. He can cast nukes. But what it means is that because Palom is a slingshot target, he's going to get double XP from whatever this fight gives him. And so JP is probably going to aim for about 450k total XP. Doubled for Palom will give about 900k, which gets Palom to it's possible that he doesn't, right? He might just get a bunch of XP for his Zerkers, and then that's fine. But no. Looks like JP has found the fight. Looks like in at 107.07, so about it's like 2.5 minutes later.
So, Scythe.
Nehru.
How you doing?
Not bad. Like, so this is, again, for those of you who maybe haven't seen a whole bunch of CC6 or haven't seen this specific grind fight before, this is the best repeatable grind outside of D machines, right? So if you watch Zemus Zone 6, you're probably going to see a lot of this. What's fun is that we can see that our grind is like matching grinds. I'm sort of concerned about JP's characters because they currently are lying on the ground instead of being, able to defeat Mac Giants. So we'll see what JP's plan is here for keeping his characters alive. It's possible that he's going for cover strats and then can just take out the Mac Giants as he goes.
Cecil eats the damage for everybody else.
And with 20 Cure 3 pots, like, that's plenty. Took 34 damage. All right, let's go, Cecil.
You got it, Cecil. We can do this. So what are we gonna do while they're demachining? Well, Mac Gianting? What do we do?
The Mac Gianting, like, what's the spiel? We joked in the booth before the race started that maybe I would give chat the whole like ATB system outline or something, but I kind of just want to like take a little bit of time and observe the grinds, because one thing that really is going to separate the top tier top runners from the runners who are like pretty good at the game but haven't like done a lot of the real fine tuning is how efficiently are you grinding? Like, how is your grind set up? Are your characters getting turns in a weird order, because that's going to slow you down? JP missed the life glitch, so like how's that sort of how is the efficiency going to change as you grind? Curious is done. Curios has lifed Edward up, got 638,000. So that's 102.67-ish million XP for Edward, and he's done. So high 40s, Edward's in the 50s. That's Curious has done the grind. That was about, it was 104, it was about like 6 minutes, plus a little bit of time for setup. Not bad.
Very nice.
And so.
And now we're leaving the time. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So Curious was only here for levels. Curious is gonna try and just beat up a whole bunch of fights on the moon, I guess, because he's landing the whale immediately with 5 Zerkers, and that's just what's gonna happen. I actually really love this because it shows something that we don't really see. What do you do if you don't have berserking at all? This is cool. I enjoy this.
You get Porm and you cry.
Yeah.
That's
Actually, you click the cry command. So JP is still chonking away at the Mac Giants. That Yang did a lot less damage than I anticipated. Kind of confused about that. We'll see. So,
Yes.
So Wylam, uh, Wylam and Rybon, some of our very, very strong runners in chat, providing some suggestions for what our racers should do. Moon boxes until you find Avengers, and that's an option. Rybon says battle speed 3 and hold the A button, also an option. Not going to lose any ticks doing that. So sure.
Any more fun things from chat? I don't have chat open. I don't know what they're doing.
Alexa, they can't quint. They can't even get one Zerker going.
You can't do one. One.
How do you
look
expect
look at
5?
Cecil. Look at Cecil. Do you think this man knows how to cast Berserk? Look at him. Puny little white mage, pseudo white mage self right now. He doesn't even know how to.
So
You could teach
okay,
him.
so to be fair, I actually like JP's team a little bit better once he's done the grind, because Halm will have Nuke, and we know where Star Veils are. They're just in Troya. Troya, yeah. So I have done some very I've done some really jank Zemus fights before, and you kind of only need a few characters with cure potions and Star Veils and Nuke. Like, that's kind of all you need.
Oh no.
So
How many janky Z fights have you had?
I played the game a long time. Anyway, I think JP is almost done the grind. Rybon pointing out that he got a double life glitch at some point. And so this kind of looks like Edge also smacked the Searcher for 3k, so I think JP is pretty much done. Yeah, that's Power Punch on the Searcher. It's over. No! No! JP, no! Oh, okay. He needs to life...
JP, what are you doing?
JP, life your Palom up.
JP, your Palom! JP, please!
Oh no!
Palom! Look at your Palom!
Oh,
look at your
no.
Palom! Please, look at your sleeping Palom! Your Palom is napping!
No.
At me!
Oh no.
Oh!
I guess he just doesn't care. I guess the plan was never Palom. That's so strange. I think that's... Okay, yeah, so here's JP standing there being like, oh, I'm not watching spells. Palom didn't get the XP. So, it's fine. It's honestly fine, because JP, like, he'll have to do some of the fights. But if he gets, if he gets a white mage, then okay, that's the white mage you wanted, and you were throwing Palom away anyway. So
Where are the only other character locations? Where are they?
Package, Earth, Baron.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I guess there's kind of not many options though. Oh boy. Yeah, so this is, I've done this. I did this in one of the ZC6 on-ramp asyncs, and I felt really bad. But like it can happen to anyone, right? You just get in the groove, and you're like, oh yeah, I've done my life glitches, everything's fine. So like, it hurts, but also that just like it's part of what happens sometimes in the game. So, well, you take it and you move on. Speaking of moving on, Curious moved on to the moon. This is Valvalis at the Crystal Sword Altar. Reminder that Crystal Sword Altar was an objective, and so they're here, and just have to punch.
She's angry, very, very angry, and she's dead.
It was a long fight though. Like this fight is not. This fight's not easy.
It's not. Defense sword, useless to me right now. Good for throwables.
Yep. Agreed. But that's a 5th objective for Curios. Curios is any of the Adamant, Rat Tail, or Baron Key away from Go mode. Heading back towards the bottom of the LST, so probably going to do Ribbon Room next.
That's actually a really good choice. There's possibility for 2 key items there if you're lucky.
Yep, and given that Curios has already done both Feymarch checks, like this is, I think, your highest value play. JP,
Yeah.
on the other hand, right on Curios's tails, tail, singular, anyway. Going to do
Hello.
Crystal Sword Altar. We'll see how his fight's going. He's down Spoonbird. Palom is whatever. Palom's a target for 1 turn. Actually, multiple turns, because he could tank weeks or whatever.
It's here.
This fight is awful.
It's here. Moon Antlion.
Oh boy.
Antlion on the moon. Oh, I love it. I love it more than I should. See how ugly this becomes. How bad could it possibly be?
The one saving grace is that you have power and dart, but like otherwise you're just tanking counters for 25k damage. Like that you're doing to Antlion.
That was a spicy one. Very spicy counter. 1 damage. Good job, Cecil.
The power of defense. Okay, the 25k is, what I was thinking is, well, Edge is gonna do like 7k with darts, Yang's gonna punch for a bunch, and then the rest of your damage is fights, and then you have to eat the counters from all those fight commands. However, Yang's doing like 3k plus per punch, and so this fight's actually going to be a lot better than it could have been.
Yeah.
All right, JP is getting Palom up. This looks like a I'm going to get Palom some XP so that he can maybe be useful.
If Valvalis allows it.
Maybe. JP, I think, needs to give Edge another weapon. That 21 levels.
Short on.
That's fine.
Oh yeah, good levels. We have Virus, Toad, Quack. Quack Kid. What we got?
That's
Nothing.
incredible. That's a hilarious Ribbon Room. Dragoon Spear, Crystal Sword. Oh
Well,
boy.
if you didn't have a crystal sword before, you have one now.
Now you do. Yeah.
As for Omnidextrous, that Cecil will be going to town. We'd have multiple people going to town. Come on, man. Cut us some slack. Give us a Zemus or something.
No,
Or
here,
this.
have Magus Sisters.
Have some Magus Sisters instead. Oh my. Oh, Zeromus. Just
Eh.
you.
I guess if you adhere to the canon that Zeromus has done all the randomization, then I guess this is the thing. Curios's fight
This
going
is
pretty
Zeromus's
okay.
way.
It's
Yeah,
like just
the fight
hold A,
is-
swap Mute Knife onto Edge. It's fine. Bye bye defense
To
sword.
Z. Yay, bye defense sword! Whee! Yeah, I guess if Zeromus really did randomize this, someone was angry or wanted to play into memes.
Okay,
Come
so
on.
we've got another. Okay, so there's Go mode. Curious has found go mode. It's at the White Spear altar. It's the rat tail. He's grinded. He has the white mage. So we'll see what happens. I'm very excited to see the strategy here. One thing I wanted to point out is that Curios has the Dwarf Axe on Sid to drop his agility by 5. JP is still running Poison Axe Sid. So we'll see if the agility sort of, like, if JP decides to swap out the agility or not. We'll see what happens. Okay, on the other hand, Curios. What is Curios doing? Landing the whale over here. Gonna take the Enterprise probably to the rat tail turn in. See what happens. The big thing that I'm really interested in is, like, if this gives any of Baron, Package, Earth, does Curios go see if he can find a white mage? I want to see this.
I mean, a package, I'd probably peek package. Still, I wonder what it tastes like. Probably vanilla.
That's a full moon. I don't believe this. Pyre, what did you roll?
Pyre, what did you roll? This is a good question for you. What did you do? Because I need you to do it again.
Incredible.
Do it again. It's perfect.
Okay, so Curios is going back into Cave Evelyn. Maybe didn't have both hands on the controller because you can actually press a button to make the hovercraft go double speed, but anyway. What is the plan? Gonna buy black belts?
Maybe.
Peace out, this charm rod that I don't need.
Oh yeah, it's black belt time.
Yep, all black belts. Makes sense. Just get that extra
we have to
5
give them power.
damage. And, like, it's a good piece of gear, so.
Power. Wonderful. Seeing power. I don't remember a lot of the Z spiel. Oh boy. I have a minute to remember it.
You have some time. It's not a big
Have
problem.
some time.
I'm
Z
okay.
spill's fun.
So Curious is just going back to the moon. Obviously, no pass.
Moon.
So we'll see. This is probably just going to Zeromus. We'll wait until Curios gets all the way down to the bottom of the moon into the lunar core before we talk a little bit more about the final boss of Final Fantasy IV. In the meantime, kind of want to see what's going on with JP's fight here.
Oh my.
Okay, has taken Cindy out.
Almost
So
sneaky.
now the fight should be fine. Goodbye, Cindy.
Ugh. Ow.
Ooh. 400 damage fire one. All right, good job, Mindy.
I love that. I'm so proud of
Yeah,
you, Mindy. You're
yes,
doing
Wyler.
such a good job.
Sorry. Yeah. So Cure 3s have been available. I think JP has had 20 at some point, probably has like 15 now. Curious. I don't remember if Curious bought a stack, but probably did if he found the shop.
I would say both runners hopefully have Cure 3s. Hoping and praying they do, because...
Yeah, that was 16
It's a
Cure
bonus.
3s for JP.
Yeah.
Oh no, Palom.
Alan, wake up. Supposed to have you
Oh
on
no.
nuke duty. Oh.
Palom didn't get the light. Palom didn't get the... It was only 31k XP, it's not an issue. Alright, so there's go mode for JP. He is down basically the entirety of going back to the blue planet, turning stuff in, coming back.
We're doing our final equipping to make sure that our characters are ready. Edward has had nothing this entire time.
I mean,
Kudos.
it's Edward. Like, what's the point, right?
Unless you give him a spoon. He really starts getting really strong around like level 60, level 70. Sure, keeper.
Yeah.
As we descend into the lunar core, Zemus. He's big, he's bad, he's angry. Sometimes he's cute, sometimes he has a hat. Sometimes... Actually, no, he doesn't pay taxes. There's always this one question that we've got to ask every single time we come to this point. Sai?
The question is, whose butt are we going to kick tonight? Or whatever time zone it is.
Whose butt? Is it cute? Does it have a hat? Can it pay your taxes? It probably can't pay your taxes because...
Can it do your taxes? Also, probably not. Can it commit tax fraud? Probably.
Yes!
All right, so unlike most Zemus fights you've seen, this fight is going to be awful. This is a horrible fight because we do not have Berserk, we do not have big spells. Kyrios is employing the time-honored tradition of hold A and throw, like, maybe some darts or something. This is really cool because you don't often see this.
Okay. Onward. Let's see what happens. Let's see how this fight goes. Chuck that crystal. What's our sprite tonight? See how fun she looks.
Yeah.
Give me something fun.
It's Sephiroth.
Come on,
right?
give me
That's the most probable.
Give me Jigglypuff.
There is no Bacchus wine. That can only be in the Forge shop. Forge should not happen. This Malmetalmus, I guess.
It's so cute. This is actually a really cute sprite.
Meltanomus, yeah. For those who don't know,
Meltanomus.
this is the like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee exclusive Pokemon that you can get by like importing it from Pokemon Go or something.
Cute.
Okay, yeah, Meltan is the unevolved form, Melmetal is the evolution. Thank you, and thank you for helping us figure out what's going on. Okay, so I see Cecil hitting for 4K. I think that was a Young Power Punch for 33K. Nerf Big Bang comes out. Edward's hitting for 3K.
Come on, y'all. We can do this. There are threes to make sure we don't get bonked to oblivion. How bad can this Big Bang be, actually?
So nerfed, it can get up to about 1200. Unnerfed, there are a couple different Big Bangs. One's got 31 spell power, one's 32. So you get 8 rolls of up to 300, so 24, or it could be 9 rolls of up to 300, so you can get like a 27 roll, or 2700. Our Zerkers are pretty beefy, right? Edward's the odd one out, whatever. So I'm kind of not convinced it's going to be an issue. I will be interested to see if Kyrios is like... So I don't think Kyrios nerfed this Big Bang. So just going to let Edward fall down, it's fine. Yep.
Eddie, it's nap
Goodbye,
time.
Edward.
No, get back up, Eddie. We need all the manpower we can get.
Fair. And you might as well just life potion because, you know, we're just holding A and throwing cure 3s. It's fine.
Hold A, cure 3, life pot, repeat. what could happen here is some star veils, a silk web thrown, possibly reflecting the nuke back on Zeromus.
Yeah, so you could do that. I don't think it's faster. I think this team's best option for like getting through the fight as fast as possible is doing what Curious is doing. It feels weird, but I think that's what it is.
Go smack.
Okay, Curious is down to 13 Cure 3 pots already. Also, at one point you may have seen Cecil swing, and then a big pause. In the Zeromus fight, that means Zeromus has done his HP refill, because the programmers couldn't give Zeromus more than 65k HP, and so they gave him 61, and then he refills after 45k. And so Zeromus is on phase 2 right now, which is nuke phase, which means Kyros is about a little bit over halfway. That Big Bang was not nerfed, but doesn't matter. Zerkers just shrug it off. Edward hid, which is something I was wondering if Kyros was going to do. On the other side, JP
Making
is...
sure Eddie doesn't die.
Yeah. On the other side, JP is getting into the bulk of the Zeromus fight. There's a direct nuke, so that's part of the script. Zeromus is going to do kind of nothing for a little bit. So lots of time to start wailing away.
It's gonna sit there for a minute. Question his life choices. Question, why in the world am I fighting this party? They don't even have a white mage.
Yeah, foolish mortals. No white mage for you. Okay. So
We'll just
JP...
dress Cecil up in Rose's outfit.
Well, that's what the Sork robe is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so JP giving Palm a bluff, might be throwing some virus. Not a bad idea. He can contribute a little bit. Took a 1200 damage. I can't believe that.
Wow.
Palm took 1200 damage. All right, cool.
I don't think Zeromus likes 5-year-olds.
No, that's fair.
It's terrible.
Anyway, so JP is just getting into the fight slowly. Be a little bit of a pain in the butt because his characters are a little bit less well equipped than Curious's characters are, but it's fine. Curios just got wombo comboed,
Meteor phase.
but his characters are bulky, so not dead. Cool.
Could have been. But we're in rocks, which means we're gonna be hitting our little GG's button soon. Yay!
That's the plan. Possible that Meteor starts doing some really bad things to Curious's party, though.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good dodge, Cecil. Good dodge.
Good job, Cecil. I'm proud of you.
Oh, that Cecil needed that dodge.
GG's.
That's GG. GG's to Curious.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Curios. GG's. Phenomenal race. Ow.
Good dodge, Cecil. Good dodge.
Right?
No, right?
So GG's Curious. Yeah. Wow.
Ow.
I did not have White Mage Cecil on my bingo card for tonight. The scramble with the tech stuff at the beginning and then straight into whatever that was. Yeah, that was the seed.
That was a seed. Have you ever run a seed where you just your only white mage was Cecil?
I have done a seed with only Cecil, but it has involved adamant armors and other toys. I have never done a Z fight quite like that.
fight.
Wow.
Now there was a question that we wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Oh boy, the crystal ring.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe half an hour. No, it was a little bit after half an hour in. You got to Feymarch. You took on the Dark Imps fight, and you got a crystal ring out of it at the Ashura spawn. Then you reset out. What was your decision making process about that? That was the thing we were like, oh, we should ask about that.
I used my, at the time, only Cure 3 and only Elixir to get through that fight. And I assumed Cure 3s were going to be somewhere, but that loses a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, that makes sense. That was my initial sort of like gut reaction. Oh, make sure to have the cures back. Otherwise, like when you started out the scene, you say, okay, double melee, and you got Edge, and then you found Edward on Hobbs, and you just noped out of him right away. What were you thinking? Like, were you thinking this was going to turn into a melees only seed?
So the point at which I panicked in that direction was Dwarf, right? Because I know it's Ruby from that initial check, and the fact that I found elements, I've got Ice Claws aplenty. That fight can be arranged, but then once you get underground and you start to be like, I'm going to be doing the moon at some point, a white mage would really be nice then. But no, didn't want to cooperate. And then Eddie for the third time. I tried to keep Eddie out as much as I could. I guess he was coming anyways.
Makes sense. When you saw Palom on the moon, what were you thinking?
I think the correct play there is to drop Edge for Palom, but it didn't seem, on theme with the seed we were playing tonight.
That's fair. I'm sure you may have talked to JP already. Also, GG's to JP. We see the forfeit on stream. That was a heck of a valiant effort at the Zemus fight. I'm sure you've talked to JP. JP did take the Palom, so I think there was a world in which that was something that happens. But then, yeah, I don't know if there's. Well, okay.
The hard thing there is
ask.
I'm sorry to interrupt. The hard thing there is I think Palom has to be for Edge because you have the spoon, you have the slingshot set up with Eddie, and you don't have any Edge weapons. But it's just really hard to do that in the moment.
That is true. That's actually a very good point. We were kind of thinking like Palom for Eddie, but then like, what about Edge? Your Edge, what was your Edge's best weapon set? It was like mute, knife, longsword, right?
Hey, we got a full moon out of the rat tail turning.
Yeah, full moon. Let's go. Yeah. So I guess the other thing I wanted to ask was, when was the point where you said, no, I'm gonna just like give up trying to find a white mage? After the grind or like later?
Yeah, Palom on the moon. Because at that point I'm grinding because I need to start doing moon fights. I guess as it turns out, I probably could have gotten through if I had known Mega Sisters to Rat Tail was exactly where it was. There's like some god route where you do that. You get your 10 key items, you bring your rat tail back, you grind a little faster. Like none of that. In the moment, you have to be prepared for hard moon fights. And even on 9 key items, I just wanted to grind before doing them. And at that point, like if it was a chain where Earth Crystal was gating all of the go mode stuff, yeah, I'd probably pick up like a Porum and use one Siren to get her Zerk. I think that's worth it. But outside of that, like in my mind, I'm doing the Z fight by holding A at the right times.
Makes sense. The other thing that I think we sort of noticed you do a little bit was you ducked into a whole bunch of weapon shops. How nervous were you getting about not finding a Thunderclaw?
Yeah, so Thunderclaw and Boomerang were the two things I was after, and of course I found the Boomerang first. But I could have done the ground, like we had Poison Axe, Earth Hammer, like it would have worked. It just would have been so much slower than what it ended up being.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching your grind. It felt really smooth. So definitely GG's on that. Are you sick of Mac Giants yet?
Not quite. I've been rationing my seeds on this. Some tournaments I'm playing like a seed a day leading up to the first round, and I burn out pretty early. For this one, I've been kind of keeping it a little more on the down low. So like 2 Mac Giants a week is not the worst thing in the world.
No, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that, and definitely a good idea to sort of ration out, as you say, a little bit, because it's definitely possible to overdose on the um, on the tournament flags, and then you sort of burn out halfway through the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Since this is week 1, what are your? I guess I'll just ask 2 more questions. One is, what's something you've really enjoyed about the flags, and then the other is, what are you sort of looking forward to in the rest of the Swiss rounds?
So for the flags, one thing is I don't think the opening of the game is solved yet. Like I've been watching, paying particular attention to the first 5 or 10 minutes of all these really good runners, and the looting patterns are different. And now, obviously, this one with the hook kind of simplified it a little, but there's just so many different potential starts that all can do different things, and I find that really interesting. And then in terms of the group, there's a lot of good runners in the group. There's going to be 7 good runners at 1-0 almost by default. So we'll see how it continues to develop over the 5 weeks of Swiss.
Very cool. Well, thank you again for letting us watch your race. It was really fun to watch. You and JP were like surprisingly, like every, we look up and you say, oh, they're actually in the same fight, having done all of the same checks. Wow. It was very close, basically up until you sort of pulled away near the end. So GG's again, and thanks for making this very challenging seed look slightly less challenging.
Thank you so much to the broadcast team, especially to Pyre, who had patience as I had a little tech difficulties at the beginning, but Scythe and Naya doing the announcing, Zelda on tracking. Thanks to everyone. I'm going to go back and watch it, and everyone have a great night.
Yep. Thanks again. GG's. Okay, I think looks like we might have JP in for an interview, and there he is. GG's, JP.
Hello.
Look, I hear that tone of voice. You cannot be disappointed with that. You did what you could with that fight.
Well, let me interrupt first.
Okay.
I should probably take down the elephant in the room where it's like, hey, you didn't res your Palom at the end of the Mac Giant grind, moron.
I was never going to use that word. But yeah, we saw you punch the searcher for 3K, and we said, oh, hey, can you raise your Palom? Raise your Palom, raise your Palom. We were panicking. So, and then we saw you sort of pause at the end, and we're like, oh no. But like, you're definitely not alone, because I did this in one of the on-ramp basings.
Yeah.
So but I guess like,
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Take me through some of the beginning of the seed. So you started with your Sid, Yang, and then you started to get more melee characters. So like, how were you feeling about, oh, I'm only getting melees?
So I kept searching for a white mage, as that became obvious after I threw the spoon at Asura.
And then you never
And I didn't
found.
find a white mage, so I swapped Eddie for Palom.
Yeah, I think that was, we were sort of surprised that you chucked the spoon, but then we said, well, okay, hold on. He wants a white mage, because of course you want the white mage. I guess something else that I noticed throughout the seed, you didn't have very much edge weaponry, huh?
No, but I did find 2 Thunderclaws that was decent for Yang and Edge.
Yeah, it definitely made your Mac Giant grind go a little bit more smoothly. I guess what was one thing you did that that Curio sort of didn't, right? Was the whole like fading the Ashura spot. You sort of just beeline the karate, got your spoon, said, okay, I done the objective, peace out. So like you ended up picking up a lot of time, and in the end, you were really close. Like you were on the same fight as Curios was, uh, like a non-trivial amount of the time. Um, so I guess saying that, and sort of knowing that Curios has, is a fairly accomplished runner, how were you feeling about the race, like overall? Like as you were running it, did you feel behind? Did you feel ahead?
Once I started gunning for Zemus, I kind of I started feeling like, well, the best way to put it is we both had crystal swords. We both had basically the same things, so I kind of felt on par. So I was hoping I got in there sooner.
Makes sense. Like as shown on Restream, like it was pretty clear that you were pretty on par for most of the seed. I guess another thing that I was sort of interested in, because you had this crystal sword, did you ever consider just like not grinding, or like grinding less, or just taking moon fights, or like moon boxes or something?
You know, after the party was all melee, I didn't consider that at all.
That's fair. You kind of need a white mage to like give you a
That's
fighting
a lie.
chance.
I actually
Yeah.
did but like I wasn't too confident in it. But the Mac Giant, I am confident in grinding, so I just kind of went, and there we go.
Yep, makes sense. So maybe I've just got two more questions for you. What's the first question is, seeing as this is the start of the tournaments or week one of Swiss rounds, what's something you've enjoyed about the Zemus 6 flags so far?
So I've enjoyed that they're actually kind of challenging. Like they do make you think of things on the fly. Uh I do enjoy not having to do D machines.
Yeah, that is that is something that's sort of a benefit, huh? Because you just no Tella, no food. The only way you're doing D machines is if you get Kane C hero with the Abel's Lance. Um, so that's something that I think a lot of people have noted that's a little bit more challenging, and you don't sort of necessarily always know what's going to happen or what you'll have to do. But it seems so far that like all the runners who have been playing and in the on ramp seems to be like definitely something that people are coming around to. I guess my other question for you is, what are you
I
looking
do also
forward to?
like
Oh,
that
sorry,
they flags are all. No, I'm sorry. I should have.
No, it's fine.
Can't,
Go
like I
on.
have a
Go on.
weird delay going on. So I like that the flags also. They're usually about 120 to about 150. So you never actually have like a real gauge on what's going on.
Yeah, that is something that's kind of nice. I found sometimes they can be a little long, but because there's this, it's 6 of 8, and you sort of know you're going to have this grind in there. You have a nice little like amount of wiggle room. So I guess my last question for you is, what are you looking forward to in the upcoming weeks of Swiss? Because you got 4 more weeks, I think.
Well, honestly, I'm just hoping to give whoever else I face in the upcoming matches a really good match, and if I win, great. If I don't, it's cool.
Yeah, that's fair. Honestly, I think like given tonight's performance with no white mages and like your best, you have the crystal sword and that's kind of it. Um, honestly, like your performance in today's race should I think uh, give people a little bit of notice so that your next week opponent has to think, oh, JP almost beat Curios. Like that's I think that's something that will give people a little bit of thing like, oh, I should be worried because I was really impressed with your race today.
I honestly thank you, and I don't know if I'm being a little too humble about it, but I have some pretty tough upcoming matches ahead in this group.
Yeah, the group is, well, all of the groups I think are pretty tough, but yours is definitely spicy. But yeah, no, it was really fun
Warlock's
to watch your
bad, but I
race.
wouldn't want to be in the D Machine,
Fair.
whichever one is Pancraz and
Judge Joe. Oh boy.
there
Well,
was someone else in there as well.
oh yeah, no,
That's a rough one.
yeah. I watched the group reveal back, and it was like, oh no, and it just kept getting worse. Oh no. All right. So I think that's probably it for today. Thanks again for letting us watch you race. It was really fun, and good luck with the rest of the Swiss rounds.
Thank you to the Restream team and to everyone who puts on this great show.
And GG's again. We'll see you in the next race. All right. So you may have noticed that I did a lot of talking. Neruliana's Wi-Fi cut out, so it's just me for the rest of the stream. I guess not much else to say except to tell you about what else is going on. I'm new to the Eastern time zone, so I forget that there's a whole bunch more free enterprise after this race. At 10 p.m. Eastern time, we've got a race also on this channel, Beauty and Discovery versus Inven. There are also a number of races going on right now that you can watch on Khadgar if you want. Check out the Discord for more information about that. And in the meantime, for now, we'll send you on our way. We'll go raid Flossy Fern doing some tournament practice. Again, ZZ6 flags. Remember, don't spoil the results of this race. Let people watch it on their own time, watch it back later. But you can tell them it was a good one because it was a good one. Anyway, so I was Scythe Marshall with Neruliana and Pyre on Restream, Zaldi on tracking. That's it for us. Take care, folks, and we'll see you in the next Restream.